practice a mountaintop removal. Otherwise they'll talk you to death while they're still knocking down mountains. So
Yeah.
but stop it in a way that you can still have a dialogue and come up with something that is going to be
A win-win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now we're both trying make the other guy lose.
Yeah. And I agree, and that's the only way. I mean, you have to be pragmatic about it.
Yeah.
I you know, politics. I think that aside that you do have to be pragmatic. There are people that are tied to that industry that they make their living doing it, and you know, also until we have an alternative, you're going to have to use that energy to put in place the infrastructure for the new energy system.
Right. I mean, someday it's obvious that all fossil fuels they'll be obsolete at some point. We aren't there yet, and
Yeah.
how do we get from here to there? That's the $64,000 question.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, you want to dig in and play something else for us? What are
Sure.
you going to do?
I'll do a title song from my most recent CD. It's called "Searching for the Sun." The album's called Sun Dream, so even though this is the title song for the album, it's a little confusing. But
Okay.
they didn't end up with the same name.
Jim Savarino here on 91.7 WNJR.org.
15 years on the surface of the sun, my body burning bright, living with the mercy of the chosen one, in everlasting light, everlasting, never fading, ever glorious sunbeam flashing, yeah. Pure light spirit living just above the earth, everywhere we stand. The tingle on your neck is a gentle sweet caress of a shadow's loving hand, ever watchful, ever wakeful, smiling sweetness, gossamer angel, yeah. Starlight, star bright, twinkle in the sky on a moonless night. All I wish is for wisdom in the fight, and my soul to fly ever soaring, crystal tower, dream gathering, midnight flower, yeah.
Wow, that's a really pretty song.
Thanks.
Yeah, it might be a little hot on the sun. Yeah.
Yeah, don't take it literally. I wrote something about walking on the moon once, and my friend in LA said, "Well, I think only Neil Young could sing that song."
Yeah, I know. It's funny when you write lyrics, and it's interesting to see how people interpret things that you write, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry, I said Neil Young. I mean Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong. Well,
Neil Young too. I think Neil Young's walked on the moon.
I think he has too. He and Timothy very probably. Yeah. So get back to the mining conversation. The mountaintop removal stuff that is very visible to see, and one of the challenges that in this area that we, the group that I work with is longwall mining is the thing.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like invisible.
Right.
And if you were going to go in and do roof and pillar, where people, go in mine, they put supports in and everything. I mean, subsidence is actually planned. That
Right.
they go in and they undermine. They say, hey, it's going to drop 5, 6 feet.
Yeah, it's got to go somewhere, and they've taken that all out. And
Yeah, and the dewatering that happens,
Yeah.
and they'll undermine underneath the stream. And that the event tomorrow, it's down near Waynesburg, is where it is.
yeah, I've been by the park because I used to drive that. Is that 221? It goes through
21.
21.
Yeah, so 21. And you had. So what happened is Consol Energy actually longwall mined close to Duke Lake, and the cracks showed up at the lake in the dam.
Wow.
So they actually had to draw the lake down. So it's completely dry now. I just wanted to bring to your attention, they're also, International Coal Group wants to do the same thing down at Taggart Lake now.
Yeah.
I got involved in, through the West Virginia Highlands Conservancy folks, invited me to come down and play at the Grafton 123, and they had a meeting there, but they want to mine next to the Taggart Lake.
Yeah, Taggart.
Yeah, and that is even, to me, seems crazier because you haven't made, Grafton's right without blood.
Sure.
It's like, basically it sounds like they've decided, well, we're going to lose Taggart Lake now. And that's a really great lake and resource for that area. It's a state or federal, I can't remember which, Taggart, but I think the Army Corps of Engineers runs it.
Huh.
Anyway, yeah, so the, if common sense would tell us not to do stuff like that, undermine underneath somebody's house,
Yeah.
or,
Yeah, we have to look at the actual cost. Like if someone says it's cheaper to get your coal by blowing up the mountain, shoving it into the stream, you have to look at the cost of cleaning the place, reforesting, or you can't. How do you reforest bedrock? You can't even do it. It's going to take thousands of years, and what about the stream? If people complain about the water quality after they filled in the stream, and they say, "What water?"
Exactly.
It's gone. So, but
Valley fills, yeah.
and we pay for it with flooding. We pay for it with disease. So everything we do has consequences, and we should look at the consequences of anything that we're doing, and try to work in some more harmonious manner with with our earth, instead of just outright destruction to get what we want for a short-term gain, and not counting how much it's going to cost to pay for it in the future.
Yeah, it is the total cost. That is not calculated into the actual ton of coal, or what we're here. I'm sure it's probably happening down where you are, but right now the whole Marcellus shale drilling that's going on, and there's it's like the wild, wild west out there with poking holes in the ground, and so that's another area that we're trying to say, hey, do it right. It takes millions of gallons of water to frack a well, and they don't look at the whole cost of the roadways that are being, the trucks run up and down these roadways. The cost, where do you get millions of gallons of water from? Then what do you do with it once you're done with it? So yeah, we're right in the middle of a lot of things right now, and I think we need make our voices heard, at least educate. It's really about education, because a lot of people don't know what's going on. At least I find that. Do you find that also?
Yeah. Do you have time for another song? I have
Yeah,
a song
we do.
About that.
Okay, yeah.
Sort of the. Well, yeah. It's education is. I mean, partly why I'm doing work as a songwriter is because I can reach more people, and I can say my opinions. This is America. It's a great thing about America. We can each have them and say what they are, and some people will agree with you, and some people will fight vehemently. But then, it's our country. It's the nature of how our country works.